Hello, my name is Cole Canwit, and I'm the Director of the Bureau of Public Health at the Maine Department of Marine Resources. Welcome to Shellfish Sanitation Training for Harvesters. Completion of this training is required once every 5 years for all commercial shellfish harvesters and aquaculturists who grow bivalve shellfish. You will be guided through a short presentation and then asked to take a 5-question quiz. Bivalve shellfish have specific safety concerns. Bivalve shellfish like clams, mussels, and oysters are filter feeders. This type of shellfish feeds by passing large quantities of water through their gills and filtering out organic material. During this feeding process, bivalve shellfish also potentially filter pollution, viruses, bacteria, and biotoxins from the water. These contaminants can accumulate in bivalve shellfish and become concentrated over time, posing a risk to consumers. Contaminated bivalve shellfish can have unwanted effects on humans. Humans consume bivalve shellfish often raw or undercooked. When humans consume bivalve shellfish, they are also eating all of the contaminants the shellfish have potentially acquired during filter feeding. Even with thorough cooking, some of these contaminants, such as biotoxins, can remain in the shellfish. Human consumption of these contaminants can result in severe illness or even death. How are the levels of contaminants in shellfish monitored and reported? The Department of Marine Resources continually monitors marine waters, shellfish meats, and the shoreline for contaminants. The open-closed status or classification of areas can change due to water quality, seasonal effects, precipitation, identification of pollution sources, or emergency conditions. When biotoxin is found in shellfish near or above established limits, closures are implemented immediately. The length of any closure varies, so it is important to stay informed. It is your responsibility to know which areas are open for shellfish harvesting. Keep in mind, some closures are implemented on nights, weekends, and holidays. Shellfish harvest area classifications. This table shows the 5 classifications for shellfish growing areas. The approved classification in the open status, harvest can occur. The conditionally approved classification in the open status, harvest can occur. The restricted classification in the open status, harvest can occur with a permit for depuration or relay only. The conditionally restricted classification in the open status, harvest can occur with a permit for depuration or relay only. The prohibited classification is always in the closed status and no harvest is allowed. All harvest is prohibited when areas are in the closed status. There are many resources available to check current closures and growing area classifications. You can contact the Marine Biotoxin and Shellfish Sanitation Hotline at 1-800-232-4733. You can use the State of Maine Department of Marine Resources website at www.maine.gov/DMR, or you can call Marine Patrol. The Lemoyne office phone number is 207-667-3373, and the Booth Bay office is 207-633-9595. It is important to keep bivalve shellfish under safe conditions during harvesting. Do not combine different types of shellfish or shellfish harvested from different growing areas. Store harvested shellfish in a container that does not hold water. Shade harvested bivalve shellfish from direct sunlight. Never rinse bivalve shellfish in water from a prohibited or closed growing area. Harvesters may never wet store or soak shellfish. All shellfish must be properly tagged. Cool and quick are the keys to the safe transport of bivalve shellfish. Shellfish must be held in containers that protects them from contamination. Shellfish cannot be transported in a way that causes their temperature to increase, such as the trunk of a car on a hot day. From May 1st to September 30th, shellfish must be delivered to a dealer within 18 hours of the time the first shellfish was harvested. From October 1st through April 31st, shellfish must be delivered to a dealer within 24 hours of the time the first shellfish was harvested. Some harvest areas are also part of the Maine Vibrio Control Plan. These areas include the Damerscotta River, the Upper Sheepscot River, and the Upper New Meadows River, or New Meadows Lakes. This plan is in effect from May 1st to October 31st. Harvesting oysters and hard clams from these areas requires additional training. Please use what you have learned and finish your training by completing the quiz in the link below. Questions, please contact the Bureau of Public Health at dmrpublichealthdiv@maine.gov or by calling 207-633-9515. Thank you for your commitment to keeping Maine shellfish safe.